I'm starting this set of videos with a website, and that website is www.antiquepatternlibrary.org, and on this website you can find the most fabulous resource for designs that you can use in your hatch program. Now, the one I've actually selected is Anchor Series of Transfers. These are all now in the public domain, so let's just take a little walk down through this to give you an idea of what's available. Now, these have been cleaned up to a certain degree and then popped up into the Pattern Library org, the Antique Pattern Library org, for people to use. Now, this is just one publication. There are lots of them. Okay, I'm just going to download this, save, and I'm going to pop it into my PDF folder from Antique Pattern Library. As you can see, I've got a few. Save. No, I don't want to replace it. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the Antique Pattern Library. Close that one down. Here we go. Now, all these are free, but they do ask for donations, and I encourage people to make a donation. Doesn't matter how small it is. There's the one that I just showed you, or how large it is, but they have overheads the same as everybody else, and if we want this to continue, then we need to donate a little bit of money to help keep it going. Now, I do a lot of FSL crochet, and I've downloaded no end of the crochet pamphlets that they've got, and I like working from charts. I find it difficult to make my eyes scan a row of print. I'm just lazy. Okay, now there is a book, Briggs Transfer. Here we go. This one. Edgings. Borders. Continuous line. That for quilters is fantastic, as is this one. It says it's a design for braiding. That's what it was intended for. This is another single line design. These are all single lines. And they can all be used inside of hatch. Okay, now I'm going to close this because close all tabs, thank you. And then I'm going to open up hatch. Now I'm doing a design and I'm going to use two methods to do it. One of them is as a straightforward line design. One of them will be as a fill design. So I'm going to go to artwork and not that one. Right. Now this is from the anchor transfers and I've sized it to fit an 8x8 hoop. Well, actually it's a 200mm by 200mm, which means it is less than 8 inches. And I think in metric when I'm digitizing, not imperial. So now I'm going to right click into the image and I'm going to tell it to lock. That means now I cannot dislodge this. Then I'm going up to my background, my grid, right click on it, and I like a grid of 2mm. 2mm is a nice length of stitch. Okay, now I'm going to go to design settings, auto fabrics, and I'm going to turn it off. So why do I want to turn off auto fabrics? I'm going to show you why. Object properties. Okay, line stitch, which is under outline, and I'm going to set that for 2.3, and I'm going to turn off variable stitch length, thank you, which means my stitch will be 2.3mm long for everything. Now I was going to make a motif for the scales, but of course if I do that I can't use the non-variable run length, and I can't use the other function that I want to use, which is branching, which is a fantastic function because it makes life so much easier for us. Now I'm going to go to digitize, open shape, and blow up my screen. I'm not going to attempt to do the whole design in one video. Now, I've got osteoarthritis in every joint in my hand and wrist, so I'm not exactly the fastest digitizer in the world. So you're going to have to put up with that. Ah, I've got the wrong colour thread. I keep forgetting. Select red. I like a colour I can see. Now I'm going to change that thread so it's now in the current colour box. And I want to scroll in a bit tighter. There we go. Pick up my digitize open shape. I'm going to go in a bit further because for branching it is important that every line dissects another line. Now you can see I am making absolutely no attempt to path this design, and that's because I intend to branch it, and branching takes all the hard work out of pathing a design. It's a very, I was going to say lazy way, but lazy isn't the right term. It's making use of all the resources we have available to us, and Hatch has an enormous amount of resources, so it would be foolish to ignore them. Now, the one thing I miss in Hatch and in Genomi's new versions of their domestic software is the ability to see the digitizing cursor in simulated stitch mode, because I don't have such fantastic eyesight. And speaking of that, I want to go and user interface settings. Is it in here? View, dim artwork. Okay, there we go. So easy, but I keep forgetting to turn it on. Now you can see I have a whole pile of disconnected lines. Right, I'm going to do more on this off video, and in the next video I think I'll just do this here. We'll look at some of the other parts of the design. I'm going to put this on true view. Now, every one of those stitches should be 2.3 millimeters long. So I want to see my resequence bar. I'm going to click on this one. 2.3, 2.3, 2.3, 2.3, 2.3. So if you're a quilter, turning off variable run length is an absolute boon, because you know when your design stitches, all your stitches are going to be of an equal length. There are occasions where it doesn't look too fantastic. If you are doing exceptionally small curly shapes, you'll find the program will only give you 1-2 stitches. So you have to be careful with your choice of design. Don't turn off variable run length if you want to do something which is absolutely loaded with very small curly cues. Okay, I'm going to finish this video here, and I'll see you in the next video.